hoarding and withholding. I see a lot of hoarding and a lot of withholding in life, where people ceaselessly, endlessly collect and accrue and hoard things, objects, money, time, experiences, wealth, people, and block other people from having access to it. And that gives them a sense of power and control, and they can then be begged or asked to release that power or control and grant access to the money or the possession or the object. And then in that way they insert themselves in the middle between the object and the person who wants it, and create that sort of gateway that hinges on their acceptance and their needs being met. So when you have a big hoarded, you can withhold it and go, I'm not letting you have anything until you make the other people do challenges or tasks or live up to some expectation that you have for them. So you can have people performing and doing as you wish, then you release some of the stuff you've hoarded. And I really struggled with the idea of having so much stuff and junk, so I actively simplified my life and decluttered and reduced things like even the number of pairs of shoes I have, even things like having so many jackets or having so many clothing is a great one, but even books, not buying books but having them on an e-reader or just borrowing and reading them, not hoarding them and storing them and having a bookshelf. That whole idea of just having stuff everywhere. And I saw really toxic examples of it in people. I'd go to their house and they'd have a pile of newspapers like it would be as tall as them. You know what I mean? Three piles that if you put them together would be as tall as the person. And it was just old, like 6 months or 3-year-old newspapers, like on a weekday when nothing happened, just stored there with little cockroaches in it and stuff, and they couldn't bring themselves to release just even something as worthless as an old newspaper. It's that idea of hoarding and collecting is so much a part of the human condition. So how can we overcome this hoarding mentality where we have stuff all the time? I believe we overcome the hoarding mentality when we begin to actively focus on simplicity and we focus on quality. Okay, so instead of having multiple copies of the paper, we just have the one copy of, or the ideal copy, or the best. So instead of having 6 or 8 of something, you have just one good version. So it's not about having masses of stuff, it's about having a more peak or a more high level experience instead of endless low level experiences. But that still involves a lot of restraint, because once you have that higher end object or piece, even though you can still go and keep accruing more or seeking out more, you have to restrain yourself and either just savor having that one object already or move on to something else. And usually the moving on to something else involves another form of object hoarding or object sort of clutching and grabbing and hoarding. So you eventually come beyond that and beyond through the layers and come to the sense of there is no exterior need to have all these things around you. It does not sort of grant you access to the secret of enlightenment. What does grant you a sense approaching that is by coming back to your breath and being able to sit in stillness and wave away those thoughts and compulsions and urges to acquire more and get more, and just sit with yourself and simply observe why you have those thoughts, where they come from, and become comfortable sitting in stillness. And as you become comfortable sitting in stillness, that will be the thing that you hoard, the thing that you want more of, and you'll become more and more focused on sitting in stillness, which is such a beautiful, simple way of being. My name's Bren Murphy. My website is brenmurphy.net. I invite you to come by and have a look what else I have to offer. Thank you.